We tend to think of change as something dramatic, something big, something that arrives with a bang and turns our whole life upside down. But the truth is, most real change, the kind that lasts, is quiet. It sneaks in through small choices, through little victories that seem almost invisible in the moment. Growth doesn't usually look like fireworks. It looks like showing up one more time, choosing discipline when comfort would be easier, taking the harder road when no one's watching. Think about it. 5 minutes of stretching your body every day doesn't sound like much. Writing down one sentence in a journal feels like nothing. Saying no to one distraction doesn't make headlines. But when you repeat those small choices day after day, they stack up, they compound, they become the bricks of a foundation that reshapes who you are. That's how transformation works. It doesn't demand one grand gesture, it demands persistence in the small ones. We live in a world addicted to instant results. We want to see the six-pack after one workout, the success after one risk, the wisdom after one book. But life doesn't work that way. The body, the mind, the spirit, they're all sculpted by repetition. Consistency, and the beauty is, the small wins that look insignificant today can become life-changing if you stay with them long enough. Picture a drop of water hitting a rock. One drop won't do a thing. 10 drops won't matter, but keep that drip going for years, for decades, and it carves into stone. That's what your small wins do to your identity. They shape you slowly, silently, until one day you wake up and realize you've become someone stronger, sharper, more capable than you ever imagined. And here's the psychological piece. Every time you honor a small win, you send a message to yourself about who you are. You're telling yourself, I'm the kind of person who shows up. I'm the kind of person who follows through. That builds self-trust, and self-trust is the currency of confidence. It's not about proving anything to the world. It's about proving to yourself that your word means something, even when the stakes feel small. Now, I know it's easy to dismiss the little things. It's easy to say, what's the point of reading 10 pages? Or why bother walking around the block? But the point isn't the size of the act. The point is the direction it moves you in. Small wins aren't random. They're a compass. They point you toward the person you're becoming. And over time, they take you further than you ever thought possible. The flip side is true too. The small losses compound just the same. One skipped workout isn't a big deal. One lie to yourself isn't life-shattering. But repeat that enough times and you create a habit of compromise, a pattern of lowering the bar, until mediocrity becomes your normal. That's why small wins matter so much. They're not just actions, they're seeds. What you water grows. So if you want to upgrade yourself every day, stop waiting for the big break. Stop chasing the overnight miracle. Start stacking small wins like bricks, one on top of the other. Read the page, make the call, take the walk. Forgive when it's hard. Speak up when it's easier to stay silent. Those are upgrades, and they don't just change what you do. They change who you are. Because here's the secret. Momentum doesn't come from giant leaps. It comes from tiny steps repeated with intention. And when you collect enough of those steps, one day you'll look back and realize the distance you've traveled is nothing short of extraordinary. So let me leave you with this. Don't underestimate the power of today's small win. It might not look like much now, but it could be the very moment that shifts the trajectory of your life. Upgrade yourself today in the smallest way you can, and watch how the world around you begins to change. One of the biggest traps we fall into is believing that there's some final version of ourselves out there, that if we just work hard enough, smart enough, long enough, we'll finally arrive. That one day we'll be complete, polished, done. But life doesn't work that way. You and I, we're not finished products. We're works in progress, and the moment we forget, that is the moment we stop growing. Think about it. Every time you felt proud of yourself, it wasn't because you'd hit some permanent finish line. It was because you stretched, because you overcame, because you moved further than you were yesterday. And the next day, there was another challenge, another lesson, another climb waiting for you. That's the cycle of being human. It never ends, and that's not a curse, it's a gift. We've been trained to measure ourselves by outcomes, the job title, the bank account, the house, the accolades, but here's the truth. Every outcome is temporary. Promotions fade, bank accounts rise and fall, achievements collect dust. If your worth is tied only to the finish line, then what happens when you cross it? You feel empty, you feel restless, because what you were chasing was never meant to be permanent. But when you live as a work in progress, every day becomes valuable in itself. You stop asking, "Am I there yet?" And you start asking, "How far can I go today?" That shift in mind, set seeing growth as a lifestyle, not a destination, unlocks a deeper sense of purpose. It means the little things you do each day carry weight. It means failure isn't final, it's feedback. It means success isn't the end, it's a checkpoint on a longer road. Here's the beautiful paradox. The more you accept that you'll never be finished, the more progress you actually make. Why? Because you stop waiting for perfect conditions. You stop beating yourself up when you fall short. You realize that setbacks aren't signs you're broken. They're proof that you're still on the path. You lean into the process instead of clinging to the outcome. Now, there's something freeing in this perspective. If you're a work in progress, then you don't have to have it all figured out right now. You don't have to compare your chapter 3 to someone else's chapter 20. You don't have to pretend you're complete when you're not. Instead, you get to be honest. You get to embrace the messy middle, the ups and downs, the trial and error. That honesty doesn't make you weak, it makes you real. And let's be real, some people will resist this idea. They'll want the illusion of being done, of being polished. They'll hold on to the mask of certainty because it feels safer than admitting they're still learning. But that's a dead end. Growth dies the moment you start pretending you've got nothing left to work on. The truth is, you are both masterpiece and work in progress at the same time. You can be proud of how far you've come while still being hungry for what's next. You can celebrate the chapter you're in while knowing the story isn't finished. That balance, that humility paired with drive, that's where real effectiveness lies. So, what does upgrading yourself every day look like through this lens? It looks like dropping the pressure to be flawless. It looks like showing up with curiosity, asking questions, seeking mentors, admitting mistakes, and refusing to let ego keep you stagnant. It's not about chasing perfection. It's about chasing progress. And progress is always available, no matter who you are or where you start. The person who treats life as a finished product stops evolving. The person who treats life as a work in progress upgrades daily. And that's the choice in front of you, to live as though you've arrived, or to live as though you're still becoming. So let me leave you with this thought. The greatest version of yourself isn't a final destination waiting down the road. It's built one upgrade at a time every single day as you keep becoming. Don't chase completion. Chase progress. Because the day you stop being a work in progress is the day you stop living.